What's up, y'all? I am getting ready to post something, probably on Instagram, maybe my Facebook, I don't know. And by the time you see this vlog, I will have already posted it, so that's kind of a little irrelevant. But I'm posting something from my journal, and I don't, as much as y'all see me post, I don't really like what is in my journal and what you see on social media. Ow, that hurt. What you see on social media, it's not necessarily different, but I don't really go there like that. And but I feel like I need to post this, and I just it's just the post is gonna go something like, dear future husband, God isn't giving me the grace to be without you. Right? So it's a little poetic, and I started to write a poem and kind of hide the concept in the poem, which I have done things like that before. But I was like, no, it's a time to be bold. I've been hearing that it's a time to like speak out, be bold about the things that that I'm expecting from God. And this morning I was just thinking about it. It's Sunday while I'm recording this, and this morning I was thinking about because I'm content, but at the same time, I know that God has more for me, and I expect it. And I expect it so much that I'm not okay living without it. Like, I'm living, I'm good, I'm not, depressed, but I want what God has for me. I want what He has planned for me. I want what He has promised me. I want what He has prepared me for. And marriage is one of those things for me. And I know most people might not, I don't know, like, I feel like they should. If you know me, you should know this. But if you look at my age and the fact that I have been single for so long, and that you don't see me jumping in and out of relationships, I don't have children, I think some people can look at that and interpret that as she didn't care about no man, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's quite the opposite, actually. And one of the reasons why I'm so picky about not dealing with certain relationships and not putting myself in certain situations is because of what I'm expecting, for my life, and what I'm expecting from God, the kind of husband I want, the kind of wife I want to be. It dictates the type of company that I keep, and the life that I lead. And I was just, but this morning specifically, though, I was thinking about the fact that I have never been like, I remember, give you an example of me. I was a member of this church, and we had a singles ministry, they call it, and we had this one of our singles meetings, which was basically like a class/fellowship type thing. And we had refreshments and all that type of stuff, and discussions and stuff. And typically in church, anything you have is mostly women, but when you have singles things, it really, really is mostly women. And so it was like a whole bunch of women, and maybe one guy was in there. Pretty sure it wasn't two. I think it was just that one guy. And anyway, I don't even know if the guy was there that day. But anyway, I remember I was younger then. This was several years ago. And I remember listening as we went around the table and the women were talking, and they were all saying, I'm just glad God delivered me from needing a man. It didn't sound like freedom to me. It didn't sound like deliverance to me. And as a woman, I've heard that from a lot of women. God, I was sitting there and I was just listening to them talk, and I was I was like, should I say something? Should I not? Because I ain't got that level of deliverance to this day.
To this day!
I ain't got that level of deliverance. And it's so weird because, and this is no shade, but I listen to them talk, and I think virtually every woman that was in that discussion that was saying those things have been in relationships and marriages, and many of them aren't that great. Like, and I was just like, but I remember sitting there that day thinking, God, what is this? Like, I don't understand why I don't feel this way, because I felt like maybe I should feel that way, and I was like, God just ain't gave me that. He didn't give me the ability to tell myself that I don't want that. I think what I'm experiencing could apply to a lot of things, but I'm talking about Felicia and what I want from God and what I'm expecting and what I believe God is setting me up for, has set me up for. But I was just like, I don't have that grace, and I think, and it made me really think about the concept of having the grace to deal with certain things and live certain lifestyles and stuff like that. And I think there are certain things that I can do that other people can't do, and then vice versa, and all that. But the thing about having grace to do something, not grace like unmerited favor, but the grace to move a certain way throughout your life, is that I think is an indication of what your purpose is, what you're supposed to do. Because even when things are difficult, if you're really called to do something and purpose to do something, God will give you the grace to do it. I hear a lot of people talk about how hard ministry can be. I hear pastors especially, and they'll go, they'll talk about the sacrifice and the time and the energy and all that, and they go, but I have a grace for this. And I think that's the only group of people, or probably the first group of people I ever heard, where it was like a general consensus where they would say, this is difficult and it's challenging, but I have a grace to do it. And I think, that's something that can help you find your purpose. Like, what do you have the grace to do? But then another thing I think that can help you find your purpose and your plan, or the plan that God has for your life, is what you don't have the grace to deal with. Some people don't, like, I work with children for a long time, and to this day, I love my kids, all of them I've ever worked with, and as much as I try to escape children, I have a grace for children. My prayer is that God will shift that to me dealing with my own children instead of just constantly dealing with everybody else's kids. But I've always had a grace for it, and just the patience to deal with them screaming or laughing or being sticky. I'm just saying, I just have a grace to do that, and I think that's a gift that God uses and that God will use, as I become a mother and all of that. But I have a grace for it, whereas to a lot of people just be like, no, I cannot deal with these kids anymore. They gotta go somewhere. Even their own kids, they be like, I'm tired, I can't. And and so that means maybe you don't need to work with children. But back to what I was saying about me, I just don't have the grace. Like, I'm content, but I'm not comfortable being out here without my husband. I'm just not, this is not the life. This is not what's up. And I was thinking about too, we had a group discussion at Bible study one night, and this one lady, she's a teacher, and she was well, Alicia, she's I'll say her name. She was, because she watches my vlog anyway, but she was sharing about how this whole experience she had with her kids, and I don't remember the whole story, but a class she was teaching, and handing out the papers of the people that did good grades or something, you know, like a 100 or something, like, I don't know, something like that. And this one girl was, you know, praying, whatever the case may be, and when she skipped over her and she didn't give her grade or whatever back, that the girl shifted from this humility of beseeching God to, wait a minute, hold up, I know my name's supposed to be on that list. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I'm talking about when I talk about not having the grace. It's like, I love God, I'm patient, I have been patient for a long time, but we get into that, excuse me, Lord, you have set me up, and I'm already like this right here, like my present is not all that you promised. And I want my man specifically, but I think it can mean a lot of different things. But that was just the thing that specifically pertained to me, that got me to really thinking about purpose and destiny and promise and faith, and how to know what to expect, and that I think it's okay to have a little bit of an attitude when things are not going the way you know that God has destined for them to go in your life. And I think if God wanted you to be, just live like this or be like this for the rest of your life, then he would give you a grace for it. Whatever it is, if you still have a passion for it, especially after a long time and all of that, and you can't accept what it is, then maybe you shouldn't accept what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what he's been dealing with you about, and what's been in your heart, and what's been in your spirit, and all of the confirmations and things that have happened, and you know you cannot get with the program of just accepting what it is. And you should not always, even as a believer, you do not have to always accept what it is. You should be able to stand up and say, no, I want absolutely all that God planned for me, the way that he planned it for me, and he needed to do it. Because either he needs to fix the situation, or he gonna have to give me the grace to deal with the situation. And if he haven't gave me the grace to deal with this situation, then God, hello, can we get this thing fixed? And I don't think that's inappropriate. So you shouldn't always just try to make it work or try to settle. You know what I'm saying? If God hasn't given you the grace for it, then don't try to force it on yourself. That's real simple. You know what I'm saying? But for me specifically, at this moment, in this present time in my life, that's what I'm on. I'm like, where my boo at, Jesus? Lord, where my boo at? I love you, God, but the way you set me up, I need my boo, okay? I can't believe I'm sharing this with you guys, but I am. So I feel like this is my vlog for the week. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and pray for me, and I'll pray for you. Preach!
My spirit with your smile so warm. Before we were introduced, it seemed my soul it knew of you.